Hi guys, it's Madison over at the Ohio Pet Sanctuary. I wanted to talk a little bit about something different today. Normally we do like little how-to videos and things like that, but today I wanted to talk specifically about heartworm disease. And there's a reason I want to talk about heartworm disease, and that's because I think it is very under-addressed in non-canine companion animals. Heartworm can also occur in raccoons, which I hope you don't have a pet raccoon. It can also occur in cats, and it can occur in ferrets. And the reason I wanted to talk about it today is because we may have a heartworm positive cat here in the facility, and I wanted to make sure that people understand how important it is to protect your pets that are not just dogs from heartworm. Now, in order to talk a little bit about this, you have to understand the life cycle of a heartworm. A heartworm, an adult worm, is inside the heart of a pet. And I actually have a German Shepherd heart that I took out at a necropsy, which is the pet equivalent of an autopsy, of a dog that had mysteriously died. Opened it up and opened up the heart, and this was years and years and years ago, and it turned out that the heart was full of heartworm, and the owner gave me permission to keep the heart for educational purposes. So I'm going to lift up here, and you can see in the bottom where some of them had crawled out into the formaldehyde. So these are actual heartworms that were alive in this German Shepherd. Now, the heartworm will release the larva into the bloodstream. It'll encysted into the tissues, and then it'll exit out into the bloodstream, where it is then picked up by a mosquito. And the mosquito will then have it turn into the next stage larva in the mosquito's salivary glands. It then goes and bites the next pet. The larva will exit the salivary glands of the mosquito and enter into the next pet, and that may be a dog, that may be a cat, that may be a ferret, whatever the case may be. It has to go through that mosquito. You cannot take heartworm positive blood out of a pet, inject it into another animal, and get a heartworm positive pet. That has to go through that mosquito. So the first step is to control the mosquitoes in the area. And I have heard a lot of people say, well, I treat my yard. Okay, that's great, but mosquitoes fly. Okay, so you may treat your grass, which treats the bugs and things that crawl in the grass, and that in turn will poison the birds and things that eat the bugs that have been poisoned, but it doesn't necessarily kill the mosquitoes unless they land in the grass. So they may fly into your yard from your neighbor's yard or something like that in order to infect your pet. If you have bird baths, ponds, standing water, anything like that, a bucket that you threw out in the backyard by the shed that is collecting water, that is where mosquitoes like to breed. So you want to make sure you don't have any standing water on your property where they might be inclined to breed, because that's going to attract them into the area. I have had somebody tell me, okay, well, my pets don't go outside. Indoor only cats, indoor only ferrets, absolutely, completely common. But you can still get mosquitoes into the house, okay? They don't, mosquitoes definitely suck blood, but they are not a vampire. They are not going to stop at your threshold and ask permission to enter into your house. So you can still get mosquitoes into the house that will then in turn bite your pets. So this is where it becomes important to protect your pets directly. And with that, you'll typically use a medication called selamectin. Selamectin, hi.
Hello.
Selamectin is usually known as Revolution or Revolution Plus, also treats ticks, or the version that we use here is Celerid, but it will not prevent the mosquitoes, but it will prevent the heartworm from maturing into an adult worm. Now, where this becomes extremely important with cats and ferrets is that there is no treatment for cats or ferrets. There is treatments for dogs when you get a heartworm positive dog, but there is no FDA approved treatment in cats and ferrets. Now, with a cat, a single adult worm that becomes dislodged or blocks a vein, something like that, you saw how big they are. That is a death sentence for a cat. That is a death sentence for a ferret. Their hearts are only this big. And we're talking about infection from a bug that is only 1/10 of an inch big. So this becomes extremely crucial even for your for your indoor-only pets. So protecting your pets from the ability to develop that adult worm. Now, I do recommend if you have indoor-outdoor cats, regularly get them heartworm tested. Don't just put them on the preventative, but also get them regularly heartworm tested. The tests only test for adult female worms. especially the dog test. But they only test for the adult female worms. They don't test for the larva. The Cellurid, the Coelomectin, will prevent any microfilaria that is in your pet from becoming an adult worm. But if you treat while your pet already has adult worms, it may kill the worm and in turn kill your pet when it dies, dislodges, and gets stuck in an artery somewhere. So again, I just wanted to touch base with everybody about how important it is to treat your non-canine companions for heartworm. Don't let them become positive. If you get that adult worm, there is no treatment and there is nothing that we can do. If you guys think of any other questions or anything like that, feel free to email us at mailbox@ohiopetsanctuary.com. And the most important thing is have a conversation with your veterinarian. They are your medical professional and they do want your pet to be healthy. So at the end of the day, that is the conversation that you need to have. Thanks, guys. Bye.